Well, welcome back, folks. As you can tell behind me, another beautiful day out here. I'm trying to make the best of it because we don't get too many of these bright, clear blue days in the middle of February. So I'm going to take advantage of it today. As you saw in my previous video, I had my blade snap on my Woodland Mills HM130. Not exactly sure what happened there, but nonetheless, I got to get a new blade on. So I'm going to head on inside here today, show exactly what I do to get my new blade on, get it aligned so that I can get back to cutting. So let's head on in. All right, so I left it open here from last time, and even left the log there just to sort of remind myself what happened. Anyways, as you can see here, things are a bit dusty, and the reason being is I was just cutting. So first things first, before I get a new blade on there, I'm going to get her cleaned out. And if I recall, I had a screwdriver, and just like a lot of things, I set them down and then I forget. Heck did I put on? Can't even see it. Anyways, I have this screwdriver, and what I'm going to do first is just get things all cleaned out. This might seem pretty obvious, but sometimes common sense isn't so common these days, and so that is what I would suggest. Clean her out best you can, and maybe even more importantly, clean off the surface of this band wheel and the surface of this belt here. And I posted this, maybe a week or so ago, maybe more, but I posted how I like to clean the frozen and caked on sawdust off. I just sort of do that on both sides of the band wheel, and that for me does a pretty good job. Okay, and you can see over here I got a belt that we got to get cleaned off, and I'll do the exact same. Just hold on to it and spin the band wheel. And there's really not a lot on there right now, so that's probably good enough. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's get the band itself here, the new one. And these are the ones you can buy from Woodland Mills, and in my experience, I've had good experiences with them. I find the quality is there. I find the price is reasonable. I think I get a 10-pack for $245 Canadian, and that for my area is pretty good. So let's get this out of here safely. Okay, and there is a bit of oil on the blade, and they put that there so it doesn't rust. And that towel is probably not going to be wiping nothing off. And that one's probably not even coming off the bench, so I didn't really think that one through. Looks like we're going to, and this is thick as molasses on here, whatever this oil is. But regardless, it does a good job because this has been out in the elements, and there's very little rust, if any, on this. So let's problem solve here and go figure out something to wipe this off with. Okay, well, this sock is probably about the closest thing I have out here to, to work as a rag. I actually use old socks for rags. I wash them first. Just work the ice out of it. Gee. Anyways, that's gonna have to be the ticket today. And probably the easiest way you can wipe off this blade is by going in the direction I'm going now, and that's with the teeth. The way I was going before is probably not bright, because that can snag your rag or your hand or whatever on the tip of the tooth. So go this way. Anyways, that's pretty much wiped off there. And what we're going to do is very carefully get this put on here. Okay, so what I'm going to do first, I'm going to try to get it around the band wheels. And so I'm going to very carefully tuck it around this one on my right, and then making sure it goes into the blade guides, like so. Don't want it to slide off the back. Okay, so it's in the blade guides, it's on top of this band wheel, and then we'll put it on the last band wheel. And don't forget, before you attempt that, this has got to be right loose, which it is. Okay, like so. And the other thing, get back there, the other thing you want to do before you start just torquing this down to spec is to make sure that you can take your hand, run it along the back of the band wheel, so the cast iron band wheel, and make sure you can feel just the very edge of the blade. If you can feel the back side of that blade and it's even with the back side of this cast iron wheel, you're in the right spot. So I'm going to do that on both sides. I'll adjust it as necessary. So that's pretty much flush along the back. It's in alignment there. So now I'm going to just snug this up. We're not talking about torquing it down. We're just snugging it for now. Then I come back and I just make sure it didn't slide any, and this one slid a little bit. And so I want to pull it back to where it should be. And if you can't pull it with your hands, just loosen that off just a smudge, and then push her back to where she should be. Maybe more yet. Okay, that's where it should be, right there. This one, yeah, that's spot on there. Okay, so that's in good shape there. Okay, good, good. All right, and I just have a visual to make sure it looks like it's where it should be. And one thing I'm noticing right off the get-go is it's way too far this way, so the top is actually leaned out. So I'll take some tension off it again, put it back where it goes. And it's important you're checking a few times, because if you just hustle this and it jumps off, you have the chance of getting your brand new blade dinged up already. And these blades, although they're relatively inexpensive, relative is not free or cheap. So give or take about 25 bucks a blade. I don't have money to throw around at that. Okay, so I'm close there. So I'm going to get my torque wrench. And you guys probably seen me use this before if you wanted to know what it is. Use this forever. It's from Home Depot here in Canada, the Husky brand. This is what is this? This goes up to 100 foot-pounds, I think, or 50. What does it go to? 100. So 0 to 100 foot-pounds, and obviously we're just looking at 25 foot-pounds. So I'm in the ballpark there. So we'll get her to 25 foot-pounds. I'm just gonna have a visual, make sure nothing's moved. Nothing's moved here. Okay, so there's 25 foot-pounds. Stay there. What I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna run my hands along the back of the band wheel, make sure it's still in alignment. If you've ever had a blade jump off at this point, you get extra cautious. Now what I'm going to do, it's tensioned down to where it should be. I'm going to take my eyes and just have a quick look at that particular location where the blade and the band wheel are, and I'm just going to watch to make sure there's no changes as I slowly rotate this band wheel. I'm going to stand behind this door. This door is going to act as a bit of a, I don't know, maybe it's a placebo effect, but it's going to act as a bit of a safety guard for me, I think. I'm just ever so slightly turning it. If you want to be extra safe, pull the distributor cap off the engine, but you're definitely not firing that thing up at 2 miles an hour here with my hand. Okay, and I'm looking over there to make sure that one hasn't moved. Looks good. And now I'm looking, I'm seeing a bit of a change here, and you can always check by running your finger along the back of the band wheel. And this has shown me that it's moved towards me a little bit. And just to have a look at the other one feels good. So I'm just going to make sure I make a full revolution before I make any adjustments. And this one here has moved towards me, oh, maybe 1/8 of an inch. And so that means I'm going to go over to my adjustment bolt here, or adjustment screw, and adjust that band wheel. Okay, so to adjust it, remember this is tensioned. I'm going to make 1 full revolution, half a revolution, 1 full revolution. So now the tension has been reduced. Now I write right on here with a marker to remind myself which way to turn this adjustment bolt. Clockwise moves rearward, moves the blade rearward. So that's what I'm doing. Forgot my crescent wrench, so we're gonna make do with this today. Undo the lock nut. Clockwise moves rearward, so think about that. I want to move it rearward just a little bit, so I'm going to put about 1/4 of a turn clockwise on this. So let's see where we're at. Maybe even less than 1/4. Okay, we'll just snug up the lock nut. Don't forget, I've made this mistake before. I head back over and I start turning that. Well, I haven't tensioned it back to 25 foot-pounds. You got to do that first. And sometimes, even before I do that, I push the blade back to where it should go. In this case, it's moved so slightly, I think we're all right. So I'm going to put it back to 25 foot-pounds. Okay. Now, just going to do a few revolutions and it should start to move backwards, and I can already visually see it's moving backwards. Okay, and that's actually quite good. I should put my glove back on in case that blade did jump off. Doesn't gouge my hand here. I can feel it. So that's probably good. And that's it. That has now got the blade back on. It's in alignment, and I think everything's ready to go. I feel confident if I fire this up, it's not going to jump off on me. So guys, that's how I changed my blade on my HM130. This thing's a great unit. Aside from the typical maintenance and new blades from time to time, I've had absolutely no problems with it. Come on back next time. I got a few more logs here to cut up, and I'm looking forward to doing that. So guys, thanks for watching. Come on back next time, and I'll see you then.